Identify the holes in your current system, and that's where you look for a solution and plug it in.
Love it.
You can't just take and plug and play what somebody else is doing, because there's nuances. I may be creating more problems for you than I'm solving. So just look for the holes.
If the only times that I call you are times when I ask you, who do you know that wants to buy or sell, would you really believe that I have your best interest at heart? Probably not. And so no matter what story I'm telling, you're not believing it. And then I always leave this one for last. This is authenticity.
There's a treat. We got Barry. I think people are rolling in right now and they're probably like, man, Tristan's never looked so good. Look at that.
That's just because Laura's on.
I know.
I am excited. I am excited though, Gabe, for those that are, as they're filing in, I think, you're hard on yourself sometimes, and that's part of why you do so well. And I think for those that are trying to find success on zBuyer, I think that sharing like all of the journey and like your wins and your losses, I think would be really helpful.
Oh yeah, I think anybody that, and I don't know when we want to get going, how much time we want to let some people roll in, but yeah, I mean, I think anybody that's probably seen me speak or anything, a lot of what I talk about and what Laura and I bring to the team is, where we failed probably more than where we got right, but that's what it takes to get there. So so I can't wait to share.
Jordan, in your experience, I don't know how much you know of Gabe's story with the last couple months, but are there any parallels that you've seen with successful agents versus unsuccessful agents? Are there any themes that you guys tend to see that maybe we could, as Gabe is going over it, we can kind of like say, oh yeah, there's that. I know I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to answer your question without really answering it. The biggest parallel that I've seen is it's constantly changing. It's not a solid concrete idea. Gabe had an amazing plan in place like 2 weeks into it. Gabe showed me every detail of it, every voicemail, everything he had put together, and it's totally different at this point, which is the common factor we see with success. No matter how long you've been in the industry, how many other lead platforms you've worked, no matter what the case is, jumping into it and knowing this is something new. I've not done this. I have not converted this specific lead before. Maybe you've converted seller leads, but not this specific lead, knowing, hey, I might have to make some changes. What worked here 2 years ago might not work today, and I'm okay with that. And I will tailor my script. I will adjust my approach to make it work.
Love that.
Yeah, I do too.
That was a really good answer. Well, Gabe, why don't you and Laura share what you guys are doing and what we can expect from this review?
Yeah, 100%. I guess probably introduce ourselves a little bit. So just in case, Gabe Cordova, realtor and resident at Wailopo. This is not actually a Wailopo webinar. It just kind of worked out that a lot of the realtor and residents happened to be here. But realtor residents Wailopo, but also team lead core group, which has been in Boise for several years. We just started up Denver here this last year. So another agent in the trenches with you guys, working this shit out, right? Because it's not always a perfect science. It's not a matter of just giving a credit card and making things work. So I'll let Laura introduce herself real quick, and then I want to come right back to where you were just asking.
I am Laura Combrink. I am the Director of Sales and Growth with Core Group Realty. Been a real estate coach for right around 17 years. I'm a realtor in residence with Wailopo as well, and have a team in Central Illinois.
I like that title.
Yeah.
It's too long.
Sounds powerful.
It is.
Oh no, I loved it.
Dude,
she's perfect.
She's crushing it. I mean, a lot of what we're about to show you, she has had like her hands all over and perfecting and things that I even learned like 15 minutes before this that I didn't know she was doing. And I'm like, oh, holy shit, I didn't know that's why you did it like that. But not only is she building that stuff, she's also doubled our team size on the growth side. So in Boise and Denver. So I love it. So I'm going to tee some stuff up, and then Laura's going to get in the nitty gritty because she's actually the one making this work, which is kind of going back to what Jordan said, right? We met 2 months ago. We started doing this a couple weeks in, laid out a pretty good plan. And I'm going to be perfectly honest as we go through the numbers. And I told Jordan, I'm like, I'm not going to fluff this. I'm going to own it. We did all right. Honestly, we did not do what we set out to do, our own plan. And it really made us realize where we went wrong on it. And it wasn't, enough of it wasn't automated. It wasn't illustrated step by step. We were growing and scaling our ISA team. This is about when Laura was coming on. And not an excuse, we just had a lot of moving pieces and nobody owned it. And then we got together with Jordan. I just told him, like, Jordan, dude, 30 days in, Laura and I just put our heads together and we're like, crap, we don't have the results. And I already know it's nurture. We get that, right? But we put our heads together and we're like, crap, we're not following our own plan. It wasn't detailed enough. And I think it was a little bit too manual. So we found better steps. And so we've really buckled down in the last 30 days. And then something happened 2 weeks ago on a call Jordan and I were on that even changed it for the better that we'll share. But, and do you mind if I just share? I want to jump in.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
just kind of show you guys what we've built. And then also, and this is real time. So just so you know, in real time, we set appointments nonstop. So this is our Slack channel. I was just asking her if this one came in zBuyer, and it did. So we literally, as this started, already set another one. But what I want to show you guys is I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to kill a filter real quick. So anybody knows that I love smart lists. Laura loves smart lists. Barry loves smart lists. My smart lists are a little bit better than Barry's for those keeping track. But we've been working the new zBuyers. I forgot to do the heart sign for Barry. We've been working the new stuff coming in, as well as the prospecting leads that are out there that are a bit more manual. You have to go grab, and you guys can talk to Jordan after this about those, but we're working them all. But what we've decided and what we've started doing is we needed to lay this out. So we literally plan everything out in our databases, all right? Every step, every lead source. So we have an SOP by lead source for everything that we do. And this is where Laura and I started, and we didn't follow it, but then we've gone in and she's really taken ownership of most of this to drill it down. So let me start at the very beginning of it. I was scrolling down already. Let me just do this, zBuyer. So we literally have built this to where we can train it to any agents or train it to our agents step by step. And I know there's other variations of this. I know Isaiah has a playbook, which I love, but we've adapted it for our business, for our ISAs. And we break it down to where, come on, here we go, where they can come in step by step, and we're going to show you the results of what we've done. And we'll export this to a PDF for you guys so you can have it. And we're going to jump in from here and into some lead examples so you can see what these mean. But literally, so these are the regular ones that are coming in that are getting pushed into Follow Up Boss automatically. We break it down. So if somebody was to come in, we hire a new ISA, they can do this one by one. What's coming in, what's happening. We have several levers that we're pulling on these from the minute they hit, with Conversion Monster to our own ISAs to using Ylopo's AI Raya to hit them and push text. So right off the bat, come in, they go into Follow Boss, they get a stars link. We set that up so Ylopo has it automatically added to it, so there's no delay. And then we instantly have an action plan hit. We've built this SOP, and again, Laura's owned a lot of this. So if there's ever a question when an ISA is here, what action plan is this? They can literally click on it. It takes you right to what that action plan is. They know every step of the way what it is. Launches this action plan. What's going on? Call immediately. This is, I mentioned 2 weeks ago, we made a change. Isaiah Colton giving 100% of the credit. I think our script was okay. I was on a call, and I'm gonna stop sharing because I love this story. It's 100% true. We're on a webinar 2 weeks ago. And who was role-playing Jordan? John, what was his name? Isaiah's guy, John, Jim, Frank?
John. I can't think of his last name. But one of Isaiah's ISAs that's been with him for like years and years and years. The guy is a wizard.
Oh yeah, he is incredible. He's going over the script and we're role-playing. and I'm on the webinar because Laura and I are constantly learning as well. And I see it, and I didn't know at the time, I'm going to be really transparent here. I didn't know they were sharing this at the end. So I'm like, screenshot real quick the script, and I Slack it to Laura and JD. And while I'm on that webinar still, in about 15 minutes, I stopped them. I said, guys, I just sent this new script to our ISA team, and within minutes, set a listing appointment, just changing that script. So, so we've documented, so it's part of our SOP now. So when you're in here, again, call immediately. We built this in. So again, the agents can just follow it if they want to go deeper. This is Isaiah's. You can reach out to him and rent services if you guys want this. We were part of that program, so I think we got it, but we built it into our SOP so they can follow it. And then what happens, right? Our seller alerts, everything is step by step. If there's something to do, we have an SOP and a plan for literally everything, breaking it down to where it has the merge fields, what is the template that we're using day by day. So the big learning curve. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Question for you, Gabe, because this is a question like we get asked a lot. Like, hey, I just put a new script in place. I'm using it. I'm seeing results, but like maybe not as much as I could be seeing. No one knows like what 100% success is and what that, conversion percentage is that they're trying to achieve. So what in your mindset said, hey, I've got a script. I think it's good, but it could be better. Now it's time for me to change. Like, how often are you going to go in and just completely change the script?
So Laura, I would say this was the first, so we wrote a script, right? And I think, Laura, this was the first change since we started with it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is the first, and what resonated with me was really this part about what Isaiah was talking, and Laura teaches to this all the time in role playing. And I think, Laura, you role played at the ISAs, right, to get into the story?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so to us, it was just a big part of getting something about learning their story, not so much the fact that we're going to run out and give them a cash offer, but learning the story as to the why, right, and getting them talking. And I think we saw that instantly. And it was just, again, Isaiah brought this to us. It reminded me, I don't think I'll get in trouble for this, but I love all the influencers that we all know, but it reminded me a lot of Robbie, but from a different perspective of this cash offer and how it was adapted, and Barry speaks to this as well, too nice for sales, I'll give him a book plug there. It's right. You don't have to focus on the sale. You can focus on the service and ask questions and learn about these people. But where we failed before, and Laura can go through some of the rest of this of what we're doing and show you the results, but is we didn't have it very well documented into an SOP that we could follow and then go back with the ISAs or the agents and just say, okay, we're not seeing conversion, but we could instantly go see, oh, we missed this step. Or, hey, we missed creating the seller alert, or we missed creating the Wailopo heat map to send out, right? We didn't have it documented or easy enough to follow for us to now go what you just said, inspect what we were expecting and make the changes where we were seeing the fallout.
And when you heard, so when you had the script, what made you want to change the script? Was it because of the poor performance? And so you see the poor performance and you're like, I need to change my approach. And then how did you pick Isaiah's? Did you hear it and think, oh, this is perfect? We tend not to think about the process that got you to the success. So I think this would be helpful for people.
Do you want me to tackle the script question, Gabe?
Yeah, is the why, or what about it?
So why did we change it? I don't think we weren't in far enough to know what to expect performance-wise as far as conversion goes. And I think a lot of people are like that when they get a new lead source. We teach question-based, get to know the why. So we have a list of what we think are great questions, but we've always got our ears open. And when we looked at this script, it follows our philosophy, question-based, let's get to know the people. But it had some different questions in this script that I thought, you know what, let's give it a shot. We've got enough data from what we've been using. Let's give it a shot and see if it changes any by changing the way we ask the questions and what types of questions we're asking. So that was the impetus to make a change. We didn't have a baseline. We have no idea how much our conversion rate should be. So it was super simple to just give this one a shot. And day one, within 15 minutes, 5 minutes, they were setting, and it was like, okay, that needed to be done. So that's how we came to that decision.
And what I think,
it's all,
no, go ahead.
I mean, and Barry, like, I think I've done things wrong enough and have learned so much from smart people. You could just tell when John was delivering that, like, how well it worked, and you're hearing the numbers that they've gone through. And I'm all from learning those around me and adapting. And you start surrounding yourself with the right people, and you learn who's fluffing and who's not on numbers. It was very easy to realize that zBuyer, Jordan, that Isaiah, they put together this had been working, and they were sharing their results and where they also went wrong. So it wasn't even so much to where I think Laura and I had to feel like we could improve that script. That was something we hadn't done. Let's go with those who know. But now let's tie the other parts of our tech stack in that we knew we could add, the heat map, Raya, the push text to trigger priority alerts and remarketing and stuff, which is what Laura's going to show.
Agent Legend and voicemail drops and all of those little pieces that we're putting together. This was just one piece of it that that definitely gave us a direct result.
So that's awesome. And I want you guys to drill on that a little bit more. And I just want to highlight, the fact that I would say probably 7 years in a row, I would change lead gen platforms. I kept changing, and I kept blaming the lead gen platform. I had Tiger Leads for like 3 months, coincidentally. But nobody really taught me to adapt to the consumer. I kept looking for something that would fit me. And what I love about what you guys are sharing in this journey is that you're constantly optimizing. You're always listening. You're always adapting. You're always pivoting. And that is to me, that's like a core principle of a successful business owner. They're always adapting and listening. So I just wanted to, that's something that I don't think might have been highlighted as much. And I really wanted to take a second and explore it, but yeah, keep going.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And let me do it. Let me jump over to some of the fun stuff, because I'm actually excited because I haven't got a chance to share, and I'll come back and dig down a little bit deeper. But so right now, so we've been importing, like I said, the old leads and everything like that. But what I'm excited about is conversion. And again, yes, we've had 60 days. I really think we've been dialed in for about 2 weeks. I think we've been doing a lot better for the last month. But I want to show you guys something. If you guys know me, I am all about stages. Lars about stage. There's our pipeline. We have every stage defined so that we know exactly what means what for our automations and everything. So stages for us are very dialed in. It is what we live and die by. And when I look at only our qualified people, all right, A's to us are worth our time to call once a month, wanting to list or buy within 30 days, or once a week, but buy probably your list within 30 days. B's, or we're going to call them twice a month. They're a 1 to 6 month prospect, and so on. Our appointment sets, these are pretty self-explanatory. Guys, I'm thrilled with this. I'm thrilled for being dialed in for about 30 days, 155. All right. And I take out even some of those, and I'm looking at only our immediate wanting to do something. We're just trying to get them to sign appointment sets, agreement signed, 19 in the last 30. I know this is the long game, right? I know that it's going to take time to incubate them. But when I look at who we've converted, and for us converted is we've talked to them, they're a real person. We're either right now working with them or trying to schedule it or appointment set or pending or whatever it is. And I can see that we're at 8%. And we're really only 30 days in. I'm blown away by that. All right. And it comes down to what, the scripts that we're using, but I really feel like it's also coming back into pulling multiple levers. So I'd love, Laura, if you maybe kind of break down, we talked about the script a little bit, but we're doing other things like seller alerts, heat maps, and all that. I'd love for you to, I think you pulled up a couple examples, what that looks like and what it's doing on our side.
Yep, I did.
Real quick, Laura, before you jump to that, one thing I want to mention, Gabe, you're in 2 markets, both of those markets. I mean, I didn't have crap for leads to get you. I mean, we didn't have anything. You've had 155 people in these stages, and it's because you're using the prospecting list. It's free. We throw it into the account, and you put, the team in place, one person to just go scrub the list and put it in there.
Yep.
Gold in there.
Yeah, it has access to prospecting list, guys. First of all, I will take somebody's leftover leads that they abandoned because they didn't convert all day long. So you've got them, send them. Because we just started, so we're working the new, but those prospecting, we just have somebody literally, we paid nonstop to scrub them, put them in, and then Lara's ISA team, and then the automation she's going to show you, we put them right through the same ringer, and those are helping us build the pipeline really fast. All right, go ahead, Laura. I know you pull up some examples. I'd love to show them kind of some of the
Yeah, I'm
specific levers
excited.
that we're pulling.
I'm excited to share. So let me get into the correct screen here. And so I am going to start with, I believe these are the heat map people. I don't want to do those yet. Let's start with the initial, when a lead comes in. So when a lead comes in, you saw some of the things that we're doing, but one of the very first things we're doing is they didn't come in off of our website. So we need to get them to our website as quickly as possible to be able to get all of the tools that we have with YLOPO to engage, so that I can send them a seller report, so I can get them into HomeBot, so I can get the heat map going, so I can get Raya reaching out to them. So we need them to be engaged so we can do the remarketing, the whole 9 yards. So Gabe developed an initial script. It is in a text template. It is linkable in that SOP that Gabe showed you guys. So if we have an ISA, where do I find the text template? They just click on the SOP, they have it. And what we're doing is we're sending out push listings. Now, a push listing is shows a list of homes, and we're doing it by text. We're texting them, and it links them back to our search site, where they now can be captured by YLOPO and remarketed too. Let me show you the results of this. I think I'm in the right list. No, I am not in the right list.
Yeah, you want to go over to the.
It's not that one. Is it this one?
I
had
think
it messed
so.
up. It's
Yeah,
all
this is
about-
the it.
This
Yeah,
is it.
and what? Yeah.
So what I'm going to go through here is to show you the purpose of sending that initial push notification. Remember, they didn't register on our website. They came in through zBuyer. We want them to stay in our world and not go to Zillow and everywhere else. So you can see here, sent the push notification, the push listing through text. They're on our website looking at homes. On our website looking at homes. On our website looking at homes. And so guys, that first step for us is sending out that push notification, get them into our world and keep them there. So that's step
And
one.
that's after the call. So it's after the call though. So
Yep.
the call is still immediate. We're doing that. But
Yep.
the key that, I don't know if you guys caught what Laura said, is because they didn't come through our website and registered, they're not there, right? They're going anywhere else for information. So that push text listing, what I love the way YLOPO does it, is because we're doing it from their profile. It brings them in, logs them in, and now it's another lever we're pulling. Not, I know everybody's like, oh, okay, great, they're looking at homes. That's not even the point. Once I've got them on the website now, they're pixeled, remarketing's hitting them, and now it can trigger Raya. In fact, that appointment I showed you guys right when I shared my screen was because this exact technique brought somebody on, which triggered Raya, the AI and YLOPO, to start talking and got it. So it's multiple levers, right? If you're only pulling the call lever, that's fine, but you're not going to get the highest ROI over time.
Yep, exactly. So we are, it's a multi-step process, but we've got a lot of it automated. One of the other things that we do is we get quite a few, let me go back to my list, seller leads coming in from zBuyer, and they're giving us their home address. So once they get a stars link from YLOPO, we can go in, grab this address and set them up on seller alerts and HomeBot reports. If you're not sure what those are, it is a market report on steroids that's specific to their property. So that goes out to get them engaged again, to start thinking about if they're sellers, to get their minds geared towards what's going on in the market, how much equity they may have in their property. Gives us a reason to talk to them, because when they open that report, we get alerted, and our ISAs hit them right away, right? Going over the data with them and getting them to, or they don't go over the data with them, but we get them hooked up with one of our agents. So we've had them set CMA appointments. So these people are asking for the realtor to come out. Our ISAs are catching them and getting them set up with appointments with our agents. The other tool that we are using is also a YLOPO tool, and it's called Heatmap. And typically you would not use a heat map in the way that we're using it. If you're any of you on here are YLOPO users, you typically use a heat map when you're ready to go on a listing appointment. It's part of your listing presentation. It gives your client information about how the marketing that YLOPO does for their property is going to be a benefit to them. It helps you win your listings is what it does. I got to thinking, that's valuable information that I could use to tease a seller in my database to call us or to at least respond to us. So what we have done is created a heat map template. I had an assistant going in and literally creating a heat map for each individual lead based on their address and sending them out. We have taken
we
a
just started
pause.
this. Just
Yeah,
started this.
We're taking a pause because it's manual. We're going to figure out a way to automate it. But with what we just started, haven't done a whole lot of them. They're very manual, but we have 51 opens. We have 4 people who click through, and we've had 11 people who actually responded to the heat map email that went out. I'm excited about this. I am determined to find a way to make this more automated, perhaps using an example heat map with Gabe doing a video, and then with a call to action where we would then only, do those for those who are willing to meet with us or are interested in an appointment. So that's been open, again, small sample, but I'm very happy with the numbers and percentages that I'm seeing in this small sample.
I'm super excited about this too. What I didn't know, and I thought was genius that Laura did, is instead of just having them send it as an email, she created a template for it. So now we can just pull that template and quickly track the results versus one-offs in there. That was something I didn't realize she had done. I thought it was genius. I'm excited just 51 opens, right? They're seeing something we're sending that nobody else is, let alone the 4 clicks and the 11 replies. So again, for us.
And I see it as putting question marks in the seller's mind can hit, if he's thinking about using another realtor, is this realtor going to, can you do this? Can you do what they're saying they can do?
100%.
So
and it's just another lever and another lever. I think this
another
is lever. So call the push text. Raya's hitting them automatically. It's now the heat map lever. And then there's one more, and I know we're almost out of time, but I want to show one more lever that we're putting in that we built out. Because again, I want to hit them as much as possible. So that's all day 1, day 2, day 3. If we've not got them, they haven't responded to this, we're not leaving a message. Come day 3, again, we're wanting to automate as much as possible, and we're getting responses. As we then throw a tag, we've leveraged Agent Legend to where it literally, and it's all built out, so it's in our SOP right off the bat. We're starting to send them voicemail drops. So then they get a voicemail drop. What's going on? We've got these all built. Let me stop share and start share one more time. I got to check a box so you guys can get audio. So we built it out so that when you go into it, you pull up the zBuyer for the voicemail drops. That way, if your agents or whoever want to listen to the voicemail drops, they're transcribed. We've got the audio recording.
Hey, Gabe Cordova here at Core Group EXP.
We'll go into the cash offer, but it's literally now after day 3, after hitting a bar, we'll go into this entire campaign, and all it is voicemail drops and text, again, trying to educate them on the site, what's going on, leveraging blogs. And this is, I think, why we're up to an 8% converted rate in truly about 30 days. I know it's going to go higher than that.
We are taught to hit a lead, or at least I teach it. We need to hit a lead who's done anything significant that includes registering on my website, hit them hot and heavy in the first 7 days. But we also all know that internet leads typically have about an 18-month from hello to getting to the closing table. So, so in order to manage the number of reaching out, how many times we reach out and make that enough to make things happen, the thing that he just showed you, Agent Legend, we're not calling and leaving a voicemail. We're doing a voicemail drop. And when they respond, our ISAs grab that, get on the phone with them, set the appointments that we need set it. I hear agents say a lot, holy cow, in the first 3 days, you have this much activity going on with the lead. Isn't it too much? When we nailed down these SOPs, guys, 8% conversion rate.
Well, and it's more scalable. And actually, I wanted to share something. I
Yes.
just was playing around. So this is the 155, which again, I'm thrilled with after really not running with this properly for the first 30, having 8%. But again, stages are everything. I was just playing while Laura was talking. So our stage, and everybody thinks cold leads are bad. Cold in our world is it's a verified real person. They're just not worth our time yet to call at least once a month, but they're a real person. And in this case, most of them are sellers, and we're going to incubate them and warm them up. Look at this number, this 155, when I add cold. And again, cold in our world, verified, real person. It's just not quite warm enough for us to call once a month yet, but they're getting a lot of this automation. 735.
I didn't even look
like,
at that number, Gabe.
I didn't either. You said something. I'm like, I wonder how many people, it was when you're talking about the incubation period. Because we're literally, I want to make sure it's really clear. This is only our less than a year that we think is worth our to call monthly or more. So when I add in that cold stage, that's exact. I was like, I knew there were a bunch more. So I don't even know if somebody wants to run the math on that, but it's much, much higher. So I know the other number will go. And I'm sharing that to drive home the point that Lars is talking about is some of these, we've already got one pending. We've got some listings. We've got a ton of appointments, as you already saw. But that pipeline is going to grow. So coming into this, it's about putting it together something that you can monitor and inspect and fine tune as you're going based on your tech stack to keep that conversion going. So yeah, we're well over 700 real people we've spoken to. 155 are worth our time at least monthly or more. I'll shut up, Jordan.
Gabe. I mean, those numbers are crazy. I mean, the least you can do is send me a t-shirt.
You can here, you can just have that.
Do you want a black t-shirt?
Yeah, I'll send you another black t-shirt.
Absolutely.
No. Oh, well, we might. Yeah, I'll get you. Where do you live? I forgot. What part of the country are you in?
Missouri.
Oh, you're not far from me.
You're in
Yeah.
Illinois, right?
Well,
Southern Illinois.
yep, she is in Illinois. I'll get you a t-shirt. Yeah, we're super excited. What are you using for the voicemail drops? Mark asked. We built it out in Agent Legend. And it's not only just voicemail drops, but it's also text. They normally coincide so that they're referencing each other. And I would say over half those texts have some sort of shortened link. We use Bitly to drive them to our search site or to the valuation page or to a blog about sellers. We utilize a lot of the blogs. Laura and I literally locked ourselves in a room or in my kitchen, I guess, technically, for an entire afternoon building out. Yeah, and we're using that, guys. Again, we trigger that on day 3, and that's kind of more of our nurture. They're still getting the seller reports. They're still getting HomeBot reports. They're still going to get Raya listings, but
They're still going to get
those
calls
voicemail
from the
drops
ISAs pretty,
regularly.
heavily.
Yeah. After the first week, it drops because the voicemail drops and stuff. But if they hit one of our lists, which is a whole different webinar, then they get hit again right back into the call cadence of that SOP.
One thing to mention, Laura, because you brought up a few minutes ago, like agents ask, is that too much activity in the first 3 days? My response is it needs to be more than anyone else in your market.
Yep.
Absolutely has to be more. The second piece of that, there's got to be value and content behind it. I mean, you can't just put words in there just to put words in there and say you sent 5 text messages. If you're going to do anything, it has to have value. It has to have purpose. And it has to match the intent of the lead. We can talk to them about selling their house, but if we say, here's, the current marketer, different ideas that don't match, someone who wants a cash offer, they want to know quick, what are my options? How does this work for me? They're never going to respond. So awesome to hear. I mean, Gabe, you've been doing this for who knows how long. You've had so many
35 years.
You son of a almost
35
20.
years. And he
35 years.
Yeah,
is
you
how long.
started in real estate when you were like 35, right?
Toddler.
So like what,
Yeah, a
70?
toddler. Yeah.
This moment made my day, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, I love you. I pulled this up, George. We get stopped. We get it, but it's okay. If you're not getting stops or unsubscribes, it's okay. But the way we've set this up, again, in our SOP that Laura and I put together, they're unsubscribing from a different number, not my agent's number, not anything else. We set this up to get some of the opt-outs so that we know to take it a different route. But yeah, if you're not reaching out more than everyone else and you're not getting a consistent stop, you're not pushing it enough. You're just not.
Yeah.
too nice for sales by getting a stop. You're just nice enough.
Well, that's why, like, for me, like the first week or so, there is a lot of communication. But if you give each number or outreach different personas and perspectives,
And information.
yeah, it just doesn't, it works better. You're telling a story
Yep.
that your business is very, conscientious. And if we
Yeah.
wanted to focus our business off of the people that were mad at us, we would never do anything ever. So
Yeah. I'm going to answer one more question. Sorry, because he posted it twice. I apologize, Mark. So we text, the voicemail drops in automated text or from Agent Legend, but that text Laura was showing at the beginning, when they first come in, let me just get to the bottom of this one so you guys can see it. When they first come in at the bottom, you get like the address and everything that comes in, what they're inquiring on, their notes, and you've got their address. That first text that we're sending out with the push listings, guys, all you have to do is we just look at the zip code. Do not overthink this. Do not overthink this. Create a push text listing. That person came in Aurora. I'm just going to click one thing. I don't know enough about them. I'm going to just randomly start clicking some crap. I don't honestly care. I know that sounds terrible, but I just need them to see something. I'm going there, or the ISA is doing this. Get that link, copy, and then you're just coming right back over to Follow Up Boss. And we've got the text template. Do you remember what it's called? zBuyer push listing. It's right there. And we put the link in. We just literally dump in the link. It literally takes about 30 seconds. Don't overthink that first text. You don't know enough to spend time on it. The whole goal, it's that lever that we're pulling to get them on our website, because now their pixel, Ylopo can start remarketing to them, and they start clicking on properties, which triggers behavior text, and then it starts triggering the AI. So just that one push text starts triggering all these other levers that you don't have to pull. It's all automated based on the tech stack.
makes
All
total
right,
sense.
get excited.
No, it's awesome.
I know.
man.
I'm like,
Laura
I didn't
and
know we
geeked
had,
out
when you
several
pulled
times
the
on that.
colds in, I was like, holy crap. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I didn't dawn on me until you talked about the nurturing. Like, shit, we didn't even look at colds, right? Because we know they're going to come in. So so we tech both through Follow Up Boss and Agent Legend. And then I know Anthony asked about Ylopo. We will text from Ylopo every now and then. If they engage with the AI, because that's one of those other levers, we will jump into Ylopo and respond through there, or maybe push them some listings or something from that, because they're now already on their phone talking to Ylopo's AI. So we want to keep that conversation going before we hand off to our agent. So,
And guess what? We have SOPs for that too. We don't, we have text responses. So here's what the lead said to Raya. Here's what our ISAs grab and respond back. They don't have to think about it.
yeah. One of the best things, if you guys are having to think about AI, get any of your text responses that you guys get and just have them right here so you can grab it, copy, and paste it in there. I mean, we're really just spending time putting everything at the fingertips to just dump in. So it'll increase your conversion. So I'm excited to see what the next 60 days does. And I know that Laura's playing with automating that heat map. Barry and I are working with Ylopo on a couple other little tools that'll speed up this process within Follow Up Boss, as well as a couple other things like heat map.
Don't say anything else. Don't say anything else.
Seller focused. That's top secret.
You've got to be, got to be able to scale these things, guys. So take advantage of your tech stacks, because you never know what opportunities may come to you in the future. You might want to expand your business.
Real quick,
yes,
in the chat, if you can, who would be interested in seeing like a direct side-by-side comparison of Barry and Gabe? Barry, did I ask you about this yet? Ask if you're okay with
You mean
this.
like in swimsuits or what? What are we talking about? I need more detail.
Barry, had I asked you if you were okay with doing this yet? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't know what we're talking about, but go for it.
Yeah, so systems, processes, scripts, side by side, because I want to show how Gabe has put together an amazing tech stack. He's got an amazing process in place, but you can do it completely different than this and still be successful. Not that yours is, but I've seen both of these systems and there's a lot of differences. So I want to show how different, the system can be, but still be successful in the end.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that a lot of times on a webinar like this, we think, okay, Barry or Gabe or Laura, they've got the steps, and I'm going to get their steps, and I'm going to execute on their steps, and I'm going to get it. And one of the things that we collectively, Laura and Gabe and I, really try to help people to understand is that, what you work on, which is like your workflow, that's what's best for you and your business and your market and all that stuff. And so your needs as a business are going to change. And so I went from a model where the leads went to the agents, and I switched it to where now the leads go to the ISA team, and so I had to change everything because of that. So,
yeah. I mean, and stuff in our SOPs and what we're building. I mean, the stuff that I've learned from Laura, stuff I've learned from Barry, stuff I learned from Isaiah, as we already shared. It's get that stuff, and I've got some stuff, Jordan, that I'll share with you for people that want it. But guys, you have to adapt it to your business, right? So take it, but use it as basically as a template. But just take the time, right? That what Laura and I have been showing you has been painstakingly exhausting this last month or so, building it and adapting it and watching what's working. But as you get it, to reference those points and go back to be able to grow and scale the teams, and then whether it's just grow your team there or take on other, whatever it is, now you have it to be able to scale and train people to do it.
I think too, what people need to remember is identify the holes in your current system, and that's where you look for a solution and plug it in.
Love it.
You can't just take and plug and play what somebody else is doing, because there's nuances. I may be creating more problems for you than I'm solving. So just look for the holes.
When you think about how different what you just said, Laura, and you compare it to someone that says, yeah, these leads are garbage. Like that could not be any more different, how you're approaching your business. And we just have to take ownership of it. Was this webinar supposed to end in 30 minutes?
I think
Probably. Sorry, I talked too much. Mark, yes, I'll do an export to PDF of all those steps so you have it. It won't link to our voicemail drops and all that because it's just in our internal stuff, but it'll have the steps in there. So I'll get that to Jordan to send to the attendees, at least what our steps are that we're doing on the zBuyer stuff for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, sounds good. Well, thanks everybody for joining, and Jordan, appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.